Hey, Billy, how you doing, buddy? I just mailed your replacement wooden sticker today. I tried some new packaging, so hopefully someone doesn't try to steal it. It's just a wooden sticker. Ray, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I'm doing good. How you doing, Ray? Ray, man, I've been seeing your post. You've been having some cold weather. Little chilly. Excuse me. Sorry. A little dust in the air. Oh, good. Hey, let me ask you guys a question. I got a new video out about that tray. I reclaimed a teak table and made a tray out of it. Pretty cool video. I've got less than 100 views since yesterday. I was on YouTube today and I found it a different video that said 1800% profit. And this guy spent 20 bucks and made a coat rack. And he's got like over 1,000 views in less than 15 hours. I'm thinking of changing my video title for that tray because the wood was 100% free. And if I sell that tray for 40 bucks, that's like 2,000% profit. You know what I mean? Ray, we're going to do all those scoops we've been making. My buddy brought me my bits back yesterday. So we're going to hollow those out. We get all these we've made. We're going to hollow some of them out. That's on the agenda today. I know, man. I'm just a little aggravated by, you know, it's that video I made for Etsy wasn't really clickbait. It just mentioned money, and it was true. I researched it, you know what I mean? But I don't know, I just feel weird putting those out. I gotta find my leather strap. There it is. Just sad that you can't get any good views without doing that, you know? I'm like, man. Just aggravating a little bit, you know? I know. I think I will, though. Because it's true, I mean. Oh, crap. Is this one too big? Nope, barely, man. That's a big one. Dang. Okay. That looks about right. So that was barely large enough. I got to remember that. Because I don't have a good way to turn those smaller. Yeah, that's still not tight enough. You got to really crank down on these things, you know, because it'll slip on you when you're hollowing. All right. Hey, what's up, Suzanne? We're going to try to hollow these that we've been making the last few days. Hope you guys are having a good one. Be sure to welcome anybody new. Suzanne, you've been killing it. Appreciate you guys welcoming everybody and hanging out with me. Now, if you guys get bored of this, let me know. I've got another thing I want to do. I've never tried it before. Melting lacquer and adding color to it. So that's one thing I want to do. I got the stuff. My mica powder just showed up yesterday. I bought a 24 pack of different colors. That's what I've been waiting for. So, all right, let's go. Yeah. Booger hooks. All right, let's get some of this crap out of my way. Smash that like button, y'all. Holy crap, that's fast. I think I had that a little too fast. Cobb Mountain Woodworks, what's up? Vance, right? Hey Cobb, isn't it Vance? Is that your name? I think so. We're hollowing out some of these coffee scoobs. Cool, yeah. I try to remember names. Okay, we're still a little too low. Remember, don't get banged by that handle, so you want to go up a little. There we go. Mo better. Well, Vance, I'm Steve. Some people call me Honey. Did I ever tell you guys how my company name, My Honey's Handmade, got started? My wife is a big quilter. And probably like, I don't know, 9-10 years ago, she tried to sell a couple of quilts, didn't have a lot of good luck. And then one of her friends knew I was into woodworking. They said, hey, can you make me a quilt ladder? I was like, sure. So I sold like, I don't know, 4 or 5. So I took over her Facebook page. Her Facebook page was My Honey's Handmade. I started out with like a beehive logo. And I'm not sure why I did that. And then 4 years ago, when I went full time doing this, I had a professional design the logo, the one you see on the YouTube, and got cards and shirts and hats and all that good stuff. And everyone still asks me if I make honey. I'm like, no. And I like it. I mean, one aspect, you know, like on YouTube, I do more than woodworking, sort of. Like, I do laser engraving, so instead of saying My Honey's Handmade Woodworking, I do other stuff, so it leaves it a little vague and wide so you can do other things. Made the fleas of 1,000 camels. That's awesome, Ray. Oh, man. But no, that's how my company got its name. My Honey's Handmade. Let's see what that's left over. Still need to keep on keeping on. Now, Ray, did you say, I think this week I heard you say something like you retired from welding? Did you say you used to weld? Is it really? Which lyrics? Rhinestone Cowboy? I'm a rhinestone cowboy. Oh, okay. I thought that's what I read. Alright, let's see if that thing's flat. That's deep enough for me. I'm sorry, guys. I got to put a little light on there so I can see this. Thingamajigga. Okay, so I got a little nub in there. I bust out my little scraper. I watched a video where someone used it, and it makes sense for this if I can find the thing. That's one of my scrapers. Are you sure Hank done it this way? All right. We got it. That's good enough for me. Let's make sure we don't have any tear out over here. Turn the light off for y'all. Make sure we don't have any tear out. We got a little bit, so I'll use the my trusty little gouge to clean it up. Oh, that should be fun. Waylon says rhinestone suits and new shiny cars. That's funny. I had a customer almost 4 years ago, or about 4.5 years ago. She was from Georgia, Southwest Georgia. She called me Table Man, which was the take on the song Spoon Man. Table Man. Mm-hmm. No, sorry. I think I'm humming a Pearl Jam song. See, that could have been a little better. But no, that's kind of cute. Let's throw in the next one. Oh, let's see how this one does. Crank down. I did go all Pearl Jam. I used to dig Pearl Jam. I listen to all kinds of stuff, but honestly, I listen to like opera, some Gypsy King, some country, a little bit of rock, some rap. I listen to all kinds of stuff. There ain't no song for what I've been called. What's up, Norm, fellow Okie? How's the bird watching going, man? I like that bird cam. That's pretty cool. Now, Norm, are you in Norman? Where are you at? I think we talked before. It seems like you're in Norman. Or I could be misremembering. Yeah, we listen to all kinds of stuff. I mean, we're going to, oh, Broken Arrow. Okay, why did I think Norman? I don't know. I'm just over here in Sand Springs, Norm. Just about 30 minutes away from you, probably. Oops, hello. This is a little guy, so we don't have to go. Yeah, we should, Norm. Let's come to Sand Springs. You can come. We can go eat at the Crescent Cafe, and you can come see the shop. No rap music. That looks pretty good. Still have that little nub we need to clean up. Let's put some finish on this dude. That's what I want to do. A couple of these. I've never worked with several of these wood types. Are you, Suzanne? I mean, let's see what I've got in my playlist. You know what I've been liking lately is, oh man. Dang, hold on. Neil Diamond. We do karaoke, my wife and I, so I sing some Neil Diamond for karaoke. That looks pretty good. I can wrap a present. There you go. All right, let's do this big one. And then I think we'll go put some finish on the few we've done. Because I'm really curious. Crap, this thing's so huge. That one won't fit. Holy crap, I don't know what I'm going to do for that. Well, that's unfortunate. That's a nice one. I'm going to have to figure out a way to make that thing a little smaller. We only have 100 people watching. That's a little unusual. I did go a little earlier than normal, though. Yeah, Suzanne, I'm more like... I mean, I'm sorry, I admit it, but I listen to Eminem sometimes. His old stuff. I don't like much of his newer stuff. Yeah, 100's a lot. Vance, I mean. I mean, a lot of times, man, that thing has a big ding in it. I just saw that. I got a big ding in this thing. Huh. I'm gonna have to change this bit out because it broke, it looks like. Yeah, Vance, a lot of times I'll have 200 or 300 on my live streams. Was it last Friday or Thursday? I saw 1,800 people on my live. It was like, holy crap. It was like 140,000 views. That's far and few between, though. Wonder if it was a full moon. All right, everybody, we have 26 likes. I think we can get to 40 pretty easy. Appreciate you guys. $3 or $4 if you're lucky, Vance. Live streams don't pay much at all. I got monetized a little under a year ago. Would you guys be interested in me making a video on how much I made off YouTube in the last year? It's not a ton, but I think it'd be an interesting video. Because most of my views are... Okay. I've been thinking about doing it. It's a quick video. Nothing crazy. I mean, a lot of these people stretch their videos out for no reason. I try to make mine to the point. I'm not trying to... Yeah, Suzanne, I mean... No. I mean, I'll tell you guys because you're already here, but I think I made... They just sent me a tax form. I think I made close to $1,000 in the last 12 months. Now, to be fair, my regular videos hardly get any views. It's the live streams. So, like Ryan has got a... Yeah. That's it, girl. Yeah. Now... However, part of my video will be about what I found. I thought I would make money on YouTube, and that hasn't been the case. What's totally worth it is finding the community. Because I had no idea that YouTube is like this. No. Well, you know what's funny? I had a friend, was it 2 or 3 years ago? 3 years ago, he came over. He was from Louisiana. He was a YouTuber. He had around 10,000 subscribers. And he was making videos where he was doing some comedy in them. It's burn stock. And he told me he was making, this was 3 years ago, he was making videos that were getting 30 and 40,000 watches or views. He was making well over 1,000 a month on his videos. And so I was like, wow. And then me and him actually made a video. He had never used a lathe. I taught him how to make a mallet. So he actually came and made a video and filmed my shop and me. But I taught him how to make a mallet. Yeah, I mean, honestly though, if there is another benefit to monetization, I mean, yeah, originally I was like, ooh, I'm gonna make some money. That ain't it. But it is cool. Community is number one, of course. Yeah, exactly. Ray. But what is cool, you know, if once you get monetized, I gotta go down a little bit. This one's a little smaller. You do have people reach out to you, or you can reach out to vendors and get free stuff. So in the last year, I've had, oh, I gotta tighten that, it's coming loose. That's the cool thing though, is I had two lasers sent to me last year. I did a review video. And then I have a third laser, a little bitty beginner laser. I've got to do a video on this week. So I've had 3 free lasers sent to me. Tons of free tools, a lot of lathe tools. So it's really cool to be able to, crap, it's still coming loose. I got to really crank it out. Oh, that'd be cool, Suzanne, because you're always posting cuts all stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's great. Like my wood sponsor, let's give them a shout out. Turningblanks.net, they're the sponsor of our video today. They provided all this wood. There's a discount code in my YouTube video, or my YouTube channel. You can get I think it's a 5 or 8. Yeah, I got to keep the lasers. Let me show you. So we got a laser in that box right there. There's my big ridiculous laser. There's the laser. I got to do a review on, haven't even opened it. Then I've got an Acmer open version that I did in the fall. Then I have a Creality Falcon enclosed I did in the spring last year. So yeah, you get to keep the laser. But I mean, like Brad at turningblanks.net sends me a box of wood every month or two. That's what I'm making all these out of, wood he sent me. Arbortech sent me that ball gouge and a spheroplane. I still need to do a video on the spheroplane. We need to make a bowl with that. I've been waiting for it to warm up. I don't have any plans for them, Ray. You need a laser? I'm thinking about I think what would be cool is doing a user giveaway to one of you guys, like a follower. But I mean, here, I'll show you a few other things, guys. Like, did you ever see my, up there I've got a Banggood sent me a router lift. I made a router lift for the table saw. Hey, Pat. Simple Woodturning sent me a set of 3 or 4 of their tools. They're great. Find By Tool sent me a set of these little black ones you see me using. Those are the Cryo. Those are great. So I get a lot of free tools. A lot of them have affiliate codes. So if you guys buy something from my link, I think I'm supposed to get a little kickback, but yeah, Norm, seriously, send me an email, man. We'll touch base. Yeah, I mean, because Ray, I've got the big ridiculous laser. I mean, my big crazy laser is what that blue guy. That's what I make my money with. Oh, Suzanne, what kind of laser did you get? Yeah, I think Ray, I think a laser giveaway would be great. You don't know? Well, hey, I'm pretty well versed. I've been using lasers to generate a lot of revenue for the last 3.5 years. I started with an X-Tool M1, which was a desktop enclosed. Yeah, 5 watt. You can do a lot with a 5 watt. I started with a 10 watt X-Tool. Suzanne, the big thing, you need to exhaust it. The smoke is toxic and it creates dust as well when it, so you have to wear a respirator. You see way too many people not wearing respirators on YouTube, and man, I'm just saying, I'd like to live a long life. That's something I learned the hard way when I got my first laser. Well, that's cool. All right, I think we're gonna finish this one, then we're gonna go put some finish on these guys. Well, good. Yeah, I like the Acmer. The only thing I didn't like was the that it was open. Originally, they were supposed to send me an enclosed 40 watt, but they changed their mind and sent me the open one, because the enclosed, it protects you more and you have an easier way to exhaust it. With the open one, I don't have a great way to exhaust it other than opening the shop door and putting a fan up. But my big laser, I've got an 8-inch exhaust on that. Okay. Let's sand this dude and let's go put some finish on a few of these, see what they look like. Yeah, I like the Acmer though. The Creality, I thought the Creality was good. It had a really accurate camera, but I made like bookmark, coasters. I think I made a phone stand on one of them on the Creality. Because I design a lot of products and sell them. Like I design the laser files and people buy my laser files sometimes. And all right, let's see what these look like. Yeah, X-Tool is high. I got it. My buddy 3.5 years ago was, let me grab some gloves. Let's put some finish on these 4. Yeah, use it outside if you're able to. That's a good idea, but that's my thing, Pat. With the cold weather, I don't want to take anything outside. So, kind of hard during the winter unless you have an exhaust. All right, we have 40 likes. All right, 288 watching and 40 likes. Please hit that like button, y'all. Appreciate you. Let's put some finish on these. We're going to use my food safe mineral oil that I make myself, and mineral oil and beeswax. I have a buddy that's a beekeeper and he gives me honey. I mean wax every once in a while. He also gives me honey every once in a while. All right. Let's see what these look like. Coffee? Ray, I bet you're one of those guys that drink coffee all day long. Man, I can't do it. I have a couple of big cups in the morning, iced coffee, and then I'm done. That looks pretty neat. I like the handle. I did on that one. It's kind of different. Let's see what this. I think this is the Black Limba. You feel every bit of 58? Well, Pat, you got me by 5 years. I'm 54 this year. Ah, man, look at this. Black Limba. That's cool looking. I haven't worked with that before. Actually, most of these woods I haven't worked with before. Thank you, Brad, with turningblanks.net for being a sponsor and providing this wood. All these scoops are wood he provided for us for the channel. That's a cool looking one. You can make these. Someone mentioned bath salts. I forget who mentioned that. There's that one. Chevy Kids. Thanks, man. 2 cups and a rule. Don't speak to me unless I've had my coffee. How you doing, Kevin? Good to see you here. So that was black limba. This is black limba. This is, I think this is the Curacao. Ooh, yeah, dude, check this one out. That's freaking cool. Love that. This is what it's about, y'all. If you're into woodworking, that's what it's about, where you come to that final stage, you get to put some finish on something, you're like, man, that is cool. That's what got me into woodwork. Well, you know, I don't know, I've told some of you, but I did IT for 22 years, and for me, when I started woodworking 10 years ago, I started with hand tools, and it was just something about going in the shop. You know, you got a stressful day at work, you go in the shop, and you come out and you have something, a useful item. And that's what was really cool. I remember when my 18-year-old, when he was younger, he would come to my old shop. I've had this shop for about 8 years. I had it built. And then before that, I was in a 10x16 shed. And I remember he would come to the shop. We made whistles, like greenwood whistles. Me and him both made mallets and burned our names in it, you know. So, and he actually helped me build. The 10x16 used to be full of lawn mowers and crap like that. So he helped me build a metal lean-to to store all that stuff so that I could woodwork in the 10x16. Let's put a little more. All right, I'm pretty happy with those. Stanley says, come on, man, I got some Jara, some eBay. I make those pipes all the time for presents, and you're right, nothing better than getting down and making that. Yep. I've never worked with Jara. Very cool. All right, we have 341 watching. Let's get some likes. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. Look at that grain. This one, though, that pops. This is that Curacao. That's pretty neat. And I like the handle on that one. If you guys want one, send me an email at myhoneyshandmade@gmail.com. I'll make you a deal on 2. And I ship, I got to put a little more on that one. I ship anywhere in the lower 48. Must have missed that. There we go. Thanks. Hey, C-Bat. They are used for scoops like coffee or bath salts. That's it. Let's hollow some more. We got 4 more to hollow, I think. Did you say big bath salts? I like big baths and I cannot lie. Sorry. This one I need to finish that handle, but we can go ahead and hollow it out. You gotta really crank it down on these things, get tight. All right, there we go. All right, we have 440 watching and 48 likes. All right, use your powers of persuasion. So hey Ray, what would you make if you had a laser? Billy, that's hilarious. I think Ray just said that earlier, or was that you that said that? I thought it was Ray. That cracked me up earlier. Oh, okay. Couldn't remember, you and Ray were like the first 2 or 3 to join. I remember it was one of you. Ray, what kind of smalls do you make? Because, man, that's really one of the things 3.5 years ago I started doing. I started doing some research on different places, and the personalization was a big deal. So people like to buy stuff that are personalized, like that has you know, so one of the big sellers for me are lake maps. I make and design lake maps. Oh, Suzanne, if I had a CNC, I probably wouldn't even get a real job. Yeah, like those things Chase does, his Bible boxes are great, man. He's such a talented dude. And then he adds that personalization. That'd be great for you, Ray. Suzanne, I've got a buddy, he's got a ridiculous CNC. He spent a lot of money. I've wanted one, but when I was researching my laser 2.5 years ago is when I got the big boy laser. And I decided to get that instead of a CNC. And my wife said, well, if you're going to get that one, you're going to outgrow that. You might as well get a bigger one. So you guys have seen my ridiculous laser. It's a big dude. My wife fully supported it, you know. And it's done good for the business. But to be fair, my #1 seller on it is lake maps. So if you guys ever get a laser, holler at me. I offered to show Chase how to make lake maps. I haven't had any good luck selling them online, but for local markets, man, you can make thousands of dollars easy. Thanks. You know, Suzanne, Suzanne bought a lake map from me for Christmas for a gift for her husband's aunt and uncle, I think. That's my bread and butter the last 3 days of the year. So, thanks for your support, Suzanne. That was pretty neat. And I'm glad they like it. So I'm glad people like my stuff. All right, so there's that one. I still got to sand that little thing off. And then we got to trim that part off. We got a couple more. Here's another one, that same one. I think this was, oh, that was the sycamore. It's got that cool grain. I forget what type of sycamore, but this was the sycamore. Dang, man, is that going to fit? Let's beat it in there. Beat it into submission. Years ago, I ran a Cincinnati CL7 laser cut steel. Oh, man. 8x12, that's a big dude. There we go. It just thought it was too good. Go in the hole. There's definitely a big learning curve with lasers. You know, I had my little X tool for a year before I bought the big laser. And I don't regret it. It's just now I have a laser payment. I did rent to own because I couldn't pay cash for it. So of course you're spending a little more there, but it definitely was worth it. I would still do it again. I'm gonna have to tighten it up. Feels still a little movement there. There we go. Let's try that. That's a big laser, Ray. I mean a big CNC. I gotta raise this up a little. It's a little too low. So Ray, what are you doing other than boxes, like for smalls? Freaking hot in the shop today. I need to open the door. 60 likes. Come on, come on. 61. Thank y'all. I mean, come on. Is you even subbed yet? Oh, it hit. Burner. What temperature is it supposed to be? I didn't even hit here. Dang, did it move on me? It feels like it moved on me. Yeah, look at that. It chipped it right there. I really feel like it shifted on me a little. Maybe. There it goes. I think we're good. Clean that edge up. That's sometimes with the carbide. It definitely likes to chip that outside sometimes. Wow, it's gonna be 70. Wow, Norm. That's awesome. Now, Norm, do you do any woodworking? Okay, what do you do at work? Oh, that's actually pretty smooth in there. Nice, man. You know, I really, I've been doing this full time for, it'll be 4 years in April, but I made the decision last year that I'm gonna start looking for a real job again. You know, I can build cabinets, and I've built some for customers. I just don't like going in someone's home and installing them. Okay. And honestly, building cabinets in a smaller shop, I have a 600 square foot shop. Sounds huge, but if you're building a kitchen full of cabinets, that's actually really small for a shop. Trying to get that rim cleaned up. That's funny, Ray. Whatever Sandy says. I mean, smart man. You know, I think the smalls I make the last year have mostly been on the lathe. Like this kind of stuff, I consider this smalls. So we'll sand that up. I think I have one more to hollow. Yeah, look at this one. Almost looks like a rattle. Or like you could beat someone like. And I'm actually going to look at the grain on this one, see how I want to orient it. That looks good. Well, Ray, a laser would absolutely help you personalize all these small things. I sell stuff at a local flower shop. Like sometimes they have realtors that want a cutting board, and I'll engrave it. Most of the time it's just a pre-made cutting board. If I make a cutting board, it's a different price point, so and a lot of people don't want to pay that much for one. Picture frames. Huh. Interesting. I've made a few picture frames, but you know, I frame all my, I build the frames for all my lake maps that are bigger than 11 by 14. 11 by 14, I buy a pre-made frame, but the rest I make out of walnut for the most part. They're just simple. Most of them are just butt joints. For my price point, I'm not going to spend the time on the miter for those. And they take up a little more wood. Hey Mark, how's it going? Mark, I had a realtor that was buying 2 or 3 boards a month for about a year. They're not anymore because they slowed down, but they were paying me anywhere between $75 and $85 for an 11 by 17 board. And I was making it out of ash and sometimes walnut and engraving it for them. How about you, Mark? What are you able to? And it's just a side grain. And then I bevel the edges. And sometimes they want juice screws. I charge a little extra for that. It's more work, more sanding. Yeah, Mark, what are you able to charge in your area? I'm in Oklahoma, so honestly, one thing I've learned doing this full time for 4 years, just because you think it's cool doesn't mean people are going to buy it. 150. Wow. Yeah, that'd be great. You know, mine are pretty simple. They're not real ornate. I'm trying to think if I've sold one for, I think 100 is the most I've sold one for. But it's not, I'm near Tulsa, Oklahoma. There's a ton of people selling boards. Yeah. Yeah, Ray, you could. Hey, see you, Norm. Okay, cool, Norm. Ooh, nice. So I still got a little nub in there. Let's see if we can clean it up just a little bit. See if that cleaned it up. Yeah, there we go. Sand that and make sure that outside rim looks good. It does. This one actually looks great. All right, we're gonna try to get that bigger one in here. It maxed out my size, I believe, but let's see. Let's get this out of here. Ugh. That one looks really good, I think. Can't wait to get, that one looks like very symmetrical. I like that one. That's probably one of my favorites. So this one, let's try to beat it in there. You know what I'm saying? Beat it to fit, paint it to match. All right, Mark. 13 by 17 and all woods are exotic. Yeah, and you know, for exotic, you can charge more. Definitely. I mean, sometimes, like, what kind of exotics are we talking about, Mark? Wow, it actually fit. Woo! Barely, man. Barely. Let's line this up. I like it. I like it. Appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm Steve with My Honey's Handmade. All right, we got 148 watching. We just had 300. Where'd y'all go? It's funny what happens when you stop actually turning or doing an action. Kind of get hypnotized watching lathe work, Ray. Hey Van, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, lathe work's awesome. Totally know what you mean. You can just go to sleep. Actually, I've got to lower it just a little. Just a little. See, now we're back to a 300 watching once the lathe got turned on. All right, hit that like button for me, guys. 84. I think we can get to 100. Everybody pitches in. Appreciate you guys. Can't wait to put some finish on this one. All right, just taking little bitty cuts with this little bitty carbide Easy Wood Tools hollower. And Suzanne, that's awesome. That's awesome that you got an affiliate deal coming. That's all. You know, with let's show my sponsor some love. There's turningblanks.net. You can use my discount code on my YouTube channel. I need to print the discount code off so you can get it. I think it's Steve08. Having less. I have to print that out or something. But also Strong Ink, they're starting to provide me pin kits, and they're going to give coupons to my followers for free shipping. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. So Suzanne had made any money off that? Because I've got affiliate links with a few, like for wood turning mostly, like 3 or 4, and I haven't really sold enough, you know. Brad with turningblanks.net sends me wood, but well, that's cool. So question for you, Suzanne, when I don't carve a lot, but do the bits wear out and to where you have to replace them every couple of years? Dang, Van, you're still without? Nice. Yeah, that's awesome, Suzanne. Banggood has sent me multiple tools. Last month they were supposed to send me something, they just ghosted me, but they've sent me 3 or 4 tools over the last year, and I've done review videos. That router lift I was really impressed with that thing. And the videos, you know, pretty well received. Okay, I didn't know if they wore out. Sorry. We're going to have to clean that up a little. 11 days. Van, are you in Tennessee? I've seen on the news where Tennessee is still without power. All right, we're at 98. I think we can get to 100. Come on, y'all. Come on, come on. Dang. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go to the sander and shape that a little bit. Well, let's try something. I've never tried this before. We're gonna try something new. We're going to try to make our own colored lac sticks. I'm going to put a mask on I'm not sure. I've never done this.
All right. Mississippi, okay.
Here are the product details from Amazon.
I didn't say anything. Amazon. Wish me luck. Melted lacquer.
That's a pretty good idea, Pat. Once it hardens, it should just come right up, I think. First time trying it.
Oh, come on, dude. Mm-hmm.
Good idea. Yeah, I think a mold would work. First time trying it, I learned a lot just that first effort. Appreciate the comment though, Pat. I think that's a great idea.
See you, Pat. Hey, Talk.
Yeah, Suzanne, your cross was great. That's awesome. You have two people that want one now. So, yeah, I'm sore yesterday from I routed all these plaques. Today I was supposed to start engraving, but I've still got to hand sand. I've got some fuzzy areas right in here. I got to hand sand. And then I've got to sand these all. So tomorrow I'll start on the engraving. So, well, hey, we made our own lac stick, which is a lacquer stick. We added our own pigment to it. For a first try, I think it did okay. Pat had a really good suggestion with a mold, which I think I'll do that next because I actually need it to be thicker. It deteriorated pretty quickly, so not sure what I'm doing wrong or if I'm even doing anything wrong. But for a first attempt, that's pretty cool. That's a neat look to add to your turnings. For a first attempt, I'm pretty happy with that. That's a neat little bronze look. You could add to a lot of different turnings. So yeah, pretty cool. And it's lacquer, so it's already sealed and it's already hard. So that's what we were doing today. So copper inlay. Ooh, that'll be nice. Rob. Hey, thanks, Ray. Hey, we hit 139 likes. What? That's what I'm talking about. Oh, sorry. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. Fortunately, I have to go back to work. I've got to go possibly sand some stuff, but I've also, let me show you. You guys want to see me do this? I've also got to, this is that box we made, plywood bottom. We've got to cut this into a, we got to cut it in half. You guys want to watch me? Or not? No big deal. But I've got to cut this in half all the way around. Man, I got to turn that freaking heater off. It's hot up in here. The thermostat in these things don't work well. It's hot. All right, let's do it. So here's the challenge. Let me go grab that box. I'll bring it over here and we'll talk through the challenge and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'll show you. Let me put the lid on this bronze. Ooh. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Boy, I wish I knew where my water went. All right. So yeah, I built this. This is a friend of the family. Okay. Yeah, I basically built this with 2 slots. So the plywood fit on this bottom slot and the plexiglass is captured on the other. So I've got to come up with a way to cut it in half. So let me show you what I'm going to do. Real quick, let me grab my jig. This is a table saw jig. That I can set it right there. My problem is this needs to be much taller, so that's all I'm going to do is add a piece of wood here to make it taller, and then we're ready to send this through the table saw. So let me grab a scrap piece of MDF or whatever this stuff is. Oh, where? That ought to work. Now the reason you want it to be tall is when this item, sorry guys, when this item gets put up there, it needs the vertical support. So that'll be just fine. So let's just tack that in. We're going to tack that in with the nail gun. You don't have to go out and buy a fancy jig. Plop, plop! Fire in the hole! Then let's add a piece of scrap at the end. It's going to just stay at the end. Let's make sure it's 90 degrees. Use a square. Kerplunkaroo, baby. Come on, get in there. Ugh. Make sure we like it. That 90, yes. Now we have a positive stop that holds it. Now, let's see how we do. Now we're just gonna scoot this over. You can make something like this. It's a real easy jig. This also is my spline jig on the other side. So, let me grab a couple of clamps. Well, actually, I can't cut it yet. I have to sand these ends off. So, Suzanne, thanks for hanging out. I know you have a meeting probably. I gotta sand these off, then I'm gonna run it through. So I've gotta put on my protection before I start sanding. I like to wear eye protection, hearing protection, all that.
Eye protection. Yes, sir. Go eye protection. Man, this is long though. I didn't think about that. Gotta think about this. That looks pretty good to me. All right, let's see what happens. Wish me luck, y'all. All right. We got one. Never done one this big like this. Seems to be alright. Ooh, what's the cut edge? Should be fine. Well, it's kind of awkward to hold. Don't forget that's compressed. Let's think about this. Nope, not tight enough. Let's see what we got. No, it's not square. There we go. I was like, I'm not square. There we go. Make sure it looks good. I think I have to hold this one in. I just messed up right there. It might be okay. No, it looks okay. Two more. I think I should probably wedge it on this last cut. Actually, I should probably wedge it now. Let's wedge it. Let's find a wedge. If I have one, I don't know. We can use an 1/8" piece of plywood as a wedge. Kind of holds the hole open. Well, that's a little too wide. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We want that to be even, so we need to brace it. Hand tools for that. It's all good, bro. All good. Shim it up with some playing cards. That works pretty well. Yeah, that ought to be fine right there. Where am I off over here? Let me think about this. I'm off. I am off. Hold on. Oh, I know why. Got it flipped around. The glass needs to be that way. There we go, that's better. I was like, man, something's wrong. That's pretty good right there. I think that'll be fine without the cards. At the end, we won't cut it free fully on the last cut. That's where we'll use a hand tool. I think that's where that one viewer was talking about hand tools. Okay. Oh, sorry guys. Trying to get you a better view here. One-handed. Make sure it looks good down here. It does. We just need to push in a little. That's right. We'll use the hand tool there to cut that last piece. All right, last side. Wish me luck. That worked pretty well. One more side to go. Now we're going to put a shim on both sides this time. So, up here, or down there's fine. Oh man, almost messed it up. Put that where the shim is. Tighten it up. Alright, that's pretty good. Let's shim the other end. That's pretty good. I think we're good there. I think we're good. Let's just go. Alright, see how we did. Should be really close. It's actually, I thought I'd left one corner intact, but there we go. That sucks right there, dude. Dang it. That's what I was trying to avoid. It took a bite. I should have shimmed it a little bit better. You see, it took a bite off that second piece. It must have slipped a little bit, so now there's a gap there. So,
I gotta check her email. Hopefully that's the back. That's 16, or I'm sorry, 19 and a quarter. I gotta check the email, see which way it is. I'm hoping this is the back, so it won't be showing really. Yeah, we jacked it up a little on. We'll just have to sand it out a little bit. To be fair, that guy mentioned the hand tools. Another way I've done this on captive boxes is you don't cut as high. So you have a little bit left all the way around, and then you come back with a handsaw. I would have got a better result using that method. So. Oh well, is what it is. It's being painted, so you have a lot of wiggle room. So to repair this, I can add a piece of wood there if I need to shim it up. I've just got to figure out which way, I got to look at my drawing, which side's the front, which one's the back. I don't remember. So, all right, guys, we got 149 likes. We're going to end the live when we get to 150. Please hit that like button. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Man, I got to find my water. It's thirsty. Hey, we got 150. Thank you, guys. Catch you on the next one. I'll be live tomorrow, probably about 1 o'clock Central. We'll probably do some wood turning, and I'll be working on plaques, but I won't do that on the live. Thanks, Ray. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Have a good day.